Hello, glad you could come by today. Now, I don't know how long this is going to take. I'm hoping not long because we're just about to head into London. Oh, but before I do, don't forget to subscribe, please. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and don't forget to write in the comments section below. I've got a feeling this might start a lot of comments because this is to do with health. Oh, by the way, I'm in my brother's and my sister-in-law's beautiful bedroom. That wallpaper is absolutely gorgeous. It's actually got sparkly bits in it as well, and it's velvet. It's beautiful. Anyway, quite a lot of you know that I've had health issues, probably since the beginning of time. No, since having Frankie Jack, and it all stemmed back to in June 2014, when I was pregnant, my hands went, sit more comfortable. My hands went like a blue shade and I couldn't move them. My feet were very the same. And apparently they just said, oh, this is normal. This is what a lot of pregnant women go through. It will just go. But they couldn't give me a reason why. And then after I had Frankie Jack, I had very similar symptoms of somebody with fibromyalgia. And I really struggled. Gary used to have to put Frankie Jack in my arms when I was in bed at the night to feed, and then give me the bottle and actually give it to me in my hand in the position, because my hands I couldn't move. I then actually struggled to walk down the stairs as well. So I really did struggle when I'd had Frankie Jack. And of course, any mother is fatigued, is shattered, is tired. That comes with sleep deprivation, doesn't it? But I became very anxious and very irritable, so irritable that I would just snap at absolutely anything. And Gary had to put up with a lot over those years, really. They did diagnose me with postnatal anxiety, and I'm thinking, I've never had anything like this before. I don't get it. And I've always had chest infections. I've always had quite bad chest infections because I'm asthmatic, but this was on another level altogether. I mean, I had a very bad chest infection when I was at sorry, I've got a sweaty top lip again. It's dreadful, isn't it? But that's another story. I had a really bad chest infection when I worked at the old television channel that shut down, sadly, which was called BID. And I had this cough for about 9 weeks. And obviously that probably made my chest a little bit sort of, what's the word I'm looking for, weaker. But I've always been given asthma sprays, but I've never taken them because I've had such mild asthma. It's never really bothered me. Anyway, so in 2017, I became very, very poorly over the summer. And it was battered about, but it's never been actually named. But a couple of people did name it that I possibly could have had pneumonia. And they did find a shadow on my lung, but apparently everything was okay, and it was okay. So, big do's and little do's, let's roll on to 2019. So I've carried on going to the doctors, carried on telling them that I'm still not right, my breathing's not right, it's taken me ages to get into the respiratory specialist, kept cancelling my appointments, putting me in the holding list. So the NHS have very severely let me down on the respiratory side. However, the last guy that I went to see was absolutely amazing. And I told him the story and he's like, this should never be like this. I'm going to spend my time with you. And I ended up spending a lot of time with him in his in his clinic. So he was really, really good. Oh, by the way, that's a burn from my barrel brush when I was brushing my hair. Anyway, I've had loads of things. Brittle nails. A lot of you will have noticed that I've lost a lot of length off my hair. That's not just because I've had it cut. It's also not as thick as what it once was. Although I have acrylic nails, my nails on my toes I do know have gone awfully brittle. I sweat an awful lot. I mean, it's not quite as bad as what it was, but I mean, that's awful for a girl, isn't it? So perspiring all over, like I had wet skin, breathlessness. Obviously that's going to be asthma, but I get breathless very, very quickly. So if I walk and talk, I'll get breathless really, really quickly, and it sounds like I'm really unfit. Yes, I have put on weight, which has been terrible since the pregnancy. I did lose quite a bit for the wedding, then I piled it all back on, but I'm constantly shattered. So I constantly go for things like chocolate and carbohydrates and things like that because I just want to give myself that kick. So I went to the doctors, explained all this. Oh, we think you're perimenopausal. And I'm like, I'm way too young. My mum didn't go through it till she was in her middle 50s. So I'm so way too young. And I'm like 15 years too young. And I said, no, this is not right. I'm sure I'm not. Went for the tests, came back that I wasn't, but they went, oh, you might be, because those tests we can't absolutely guarantee. So I'm like, oh my gosh. Then I had to go and see the gynae because I was all over the place with women's problems. Anyway, they found a polyp and they removed it. And when I was seeing the gynecologist, I said to him, I said, how come, you know, how is it that I've got all these symptoms and they're saying that I could be perimenopausal? No, you're not. You're definitely not. This is my area of expertise. He said, you're right on the average line. He said, you're definitely not perimenopausal. So I said, what is wrong with me then? He said, I don't know. Go back to your doctors. Back to the doctors. I don't know what's wrong with you. Then I started with another chest infection in November of last year. November the 1st. Became very, very ill again. Back to the doctors. More steroids. And I'm thinking, oh, and then I started throwing up. They said that's because of the steroids. So then they put me on omeprazole. And then my friend rung up out of the blue. This is a friend I've been friends with now for, oh my gosh, if Carrie's watching, how long do you think it's been, Carrie? I think it's been probably around about 15 years. So Carrie rung me up and she said, I'm coming round. And I want you to go and get your bloods printed out. So I rang my doctors, got my bloods printed out. Gary picked them up on the way home from work. She came over and I was, I feeling absolutely diabolical in my PJs. And she read, and she's not an expert, but she's just done a lot of research herself because she's been in a very similar position to me since having her baby Race. So she read my bloods and she said, oh my gosh, she said, your ferritin is on the floor. My ferritin read 24. My ferritin is your iron stores. Your iron stores needs to does so much to your body, and it's really, really important. And then we found out the NHS guidelines are between 10 and 291. So I sit between those guidelines. So when a doctor's looking at that, I'm in the guidelines, but I'm not. It is incredibly low, and it causes hair loss, fatigue, hot sweats, not being able to sleep at night, restless legs, brittle nails, breathlessness, all these symptoms that are almost the same as perimenopausal. I'm like, oh my God. And this has got to be me. This is what's got to be the problem. I marched straight back down to the doctors the day after. No, you're fine. You're fine. It's absolutely fine. It's in the guidelines. Or maybe it is a little bit lower. So we'll put you on some ferrous sulfate. So they put me on ferrous sulfate. By the way, if you're on ferrous sulfate, it needs to be taken on an empty stomach and it needs to be taken with vitamin C. That's either a vitamin C tablet or vitamin C as in an orange drink. It needs to be taken with that, otherwise your body cannot absorb it. That is very important because quite a lot of doctors don't tell you that. Now, once you start watching these videos, if you are following me, you will know that I do know for once in my life what I'm talking about here. So they put me on ferrous sulfate, realised my mum's got the same symptoms as me, then looking into it about what iron causes, and it is humongous, low ferritin. So I'm not anemic. So there's low iron deficiency anemia, and then there's low iron deficiency. And I am the latter. So I am low in ferritin. I've done so much research on this. I'm sat here at my brother's today because we have come down to London. We have done this for Frankie Jack to show him the sights, but to also, I'm about to meet an amazing man today. An amazing man. I'm nervous. I'm excited. You've got to stay with me because I'm hoping if this works, and with my friend Carrie and with the Iron Clinic, we are going to try and get this spread across the UK, because there will be so many women that will be suffering the same as me and not being able to do anything about it because the doctors aren't recognising it properly because those guidelines are too far apart. Who am I meeting? I'm not going to tell you yet. You've got to stay tuned and make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's so interesting because if this really works, it's going to stop my fatigue, it's going to stop my hot sweats, it's going to help with the breathlessness, although I am asthmatic, so it's not going to help fully. It's also going to help with my brittle nails, it's going to help with my hair. To be honest, that's not important to me. What's really important is the fatigue that I constantly feel, and it's going to help with that, and I cannot wait. We're on the way today. I'm very nervous, I'm very excited. Oh, and it's going to help with those chest infections because my own immunity system will kick in and it will fight them. Oh my gosh, I'm hoping this works. I'm hoping it does. What am I talking about? I don't know, I'm leaving you on a cliffhanger, aren't I? You need to stay tuned because this actually could possibly be you as well. I know it's definitely my mum, and I've got a feeling it could be another member of our family as well, and it's a lot of my friends. Mostly it is women, but it can affect men as well. Ferritin, your low ferritin. And we're going to talk to an expert about it. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And stay